Hello, welcome back to Kim Reads as we continue with Happy Birthday Addy, Chapter 4, Brotherly Love. It was late afternoon when Addy and Sarah finally made it back to the boarding house. As they trudged down the hall, Madeira called out, "Addy, is that you and your friend?" Addy answered, "It's us." She tried not to sound as discouraged as she felt. "Come right in here," Madeira said with relief in her voice. "I was so worried about you. I was thinking of coming after you myself." Addy and Sarah went into Madeira's room. Addy tried to dust off her dress and hide the hole in her stocking, but then she remembered that Madeira couldn't see them. So, Addy, what took you so long?" Madeira asked. Addy and Sarah glanced at each other. "The druggist in the neighborhood didn't have the medicines. We had to go to another store," Addy explained. Her voice trembled a little. She was telling the truth, at least part of it. When Addy handed Madeira the medicine, Madeira reached for Addy's hand and held in her own. Madeira's eyes looked right into Addy's. "There's something else," Madeira said gently. "I can tell by your voice." Reluctantly, Addy started telling the whole story. When she got to the part about being forced off the streetcar, Addy said, "We was just minding our own business, and the conductor threw all of us colored people off. That ain't right." "No, it's not right," Madeira said. "I don't understand," Sarah piped in. "I thought colored people in the North were supposed to be free, but we're in the North and we ain't free." Madeira was quiet for a moment, and then she answered, "You're right, Sarah. We still have to fight for our freedom here in the North. That's because some people are prejudiced, and prejudice blinds people. It doesn't allow them to see people for who they really are. The conductor who mistreated you girls is blind, blinder than me." "I don't see why Philadelphia is called the City of Brotherly Love," Addy said. "The druggists across the street didn't wait on us because we colored. We can't ride in the streetcars because we colored. We can't go into Natkin's confectionery to get ice cream because we colored. My papa can't even get a job as a carpenter because he colored. There ain't any brotherly love in the city, and it ain't ever gonna change." "Why do you think things won't ever change?" Madeira said. "Because we can't change the color of our skin," Addy answered. "Well, you're right about that," Madeira agreed. "We can't change the color of the skin, but don't let prejudice make you its prisoner. Remember, Sonny, his spirit goes beyond his cage with every note he sings." Gently, Madeira put her hand on Addy's cheek. "You have to keep right on living, right on singing your song." After Sarah had gone home, Papa stopped by the boarding house to take Addy with him on his last deliveries. As they rolled along on the slow-moving wagon, Papa asked Addy how the day had gone with Sarah. Addy told him about their picnic and double dutch, but not about the trip to the druggist and the trouble in the streetcar. Papa had a solemn look on his face, and Addy didn't think he needed to hear any bad news. "I looked for a job today on my meal break," Papa said. "I heard they was hiring carpenters for a warehouse going up near the docks. When I was there, it was the same old story. The foreman told me he didn't hire colored folks." Addy encouraged Papa. "Well, that man was blind. He couldn't see you for who you is, one of the best carpenters in all of Philadelphia." Papa put an arm around Addy's shoulders and smiled. He said, "Well, listen to you. Don't you sound like a wise old lady?" "It's true, Papa," Addy said. "Somebody gonna hire you for carpenter work someday. I just know they will." "I hope you're right, Addy," said Papa. On Papa's last stop, Addy waited in the wagon while Papa hauled the heavy blocks outside. She heard a bird singing. It reminded her of Sonny, and Addy turned to see where the bird was. She didn't see it, but when she returned, she saw a sign posted on a building next to one Papa had gone in. The sign read, "Carpenters wanted. Apply within." Addy jumped down from the wagon to find Papa. He was coming out of the building just then. Addy rushed him and told him about the sign. "You should go in and see what they had to say," Addy said. Papa stood for a moment looking at Addy. "I know what they're going to say, but I'll ask anyway." Papa walked up to the building and knocked firmly on the door. Addy stood right beside him. A white man with a beard answered the door. His beard was filled with sawdust. "My name is Ben Walker, and I come to see about the carpenter job," Papa said in a strong, sure voice. "I'm Miles Roberts. Have you done carpentry before?" the man asked. I sure have, Mr. Roberts, Papa said. I'll tell you right now that I can't read or write yet, but I know how to work with wood. I can do everything from build a stairway or fence to lay a floor or frame a window. I got plenty of knowledge up here. Papa tapped his finger to his head, and I got a strong pair of hands. All I'm asking for is a chance. Do you have your own tools? Mr. Robert asked. Papa answered, I got a few. A hammer, a saw, and a plane. Mr. Roberts rubbed his beard. I'll tell you what, he said. Come back here on Monday morning at 6 o'clock sharp, and I'll put you to work. Yes, sir, Papa said heartily. I'll be there. Mr. Roberts shook Papa's hand and shut the door. Papa swept Addie up in his arms and spun her around. When he put her down, Addie said, I told you, Papa, somebody was going to see you for who you really is. She climbed back in the wagon and grinned. Your mama is going to be so happy, he said. As they headed down the street atop the wagon, the sun was setting. Poppa began to whistle a song Addie had never heard before. It was a song full of hope. And that's the end of that chapter. I'll see you later.